Welcome to all sins and commandments alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always, bringing you guys the latest episode review of Wrath of the Gods. Now, I always say this is going to be a relatively short one because I'm short on time and stuff, and meanwhile it always ends up being 15 minutes anyways. So I won't say that, but if it does end up shorter than the last one, then that is what it is. Because pretty much this episode was, I think it was my favorite episode of season 3. My favorite one. Because this was the turning point that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. It's something that I did talk about on my previous channel when this chapter came out. Just so you guys are all aware, you anime-only viewers, when this chapter came out, this wasn't an actual canon chapter like 251, 252, 253. No, this was a bonus 45-ish page bonus chapter that came out that tells the entire backstory of Gother the doll. And I am so glad. I was worried for a moment when I first started the episode. I was worried that they were going to skip it. I don't really know how they could. It's essential to Gother basically coming back to the sins. They didn't really speed through it necessarily. Like, they spent they basically dedicated, 15, 17 minutes to the Gother backstory. So I can't really say that they sped through it. I would have liked a little more, pacing wise. Usually if you have such a big character backstory, usually they can expand on that and contract and stuff like that. But either way, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was animated fine. I thought everything was pretty good. I really liked the colorization of Nadja's hair and stuff, being that purple and stuff like that. That was really nice. I really liked that. A lot of the time I don't check official colorizations or stuff like that, so I'm always kind of in the dark when I'm reading a manga, and then all of a sudden I see the anime. I'm not sure what the color spectrum will look like on a certain character, but this one I approve of greatly. I think it actually added to it. Looked really nice. But this episode, simply, we follow Gother's backstory, and I'm not going to go through this scene by scene, because I think all of you, not only am I short on time, no watch there, why did I do that? But also for the simple fact that I think you need to watch this episode. I think that I don't feel like I can do it justice. And if you have time, even if you're not a manga type of person, please read the side story. It's the same content. You won't be spoiled for anything. But the chapter, of course, I think did it better. But this anime episode did it some goddamn good justice. This was a good episode. The best one of season 3. There wasn't very much in the way of animation faults, I should say. Not anime faults, but animation faults. Everything was pretty clear and precise. They followed the story properly. The one thing I am going to talk about that happens in this episode that is differing to the point that it kind of bothers me. It is one drawback. It takes this episode from being 10 out of 10 to a 9. Maybe even an 8.5. Because the key aspect of this, right? Because what is Gother? He is supposedly the sin of lust, right? Merlin is gluttony. Deanne is envy. We have sloth with King. We have wrath with Meliodas. We have greed with Bon. We have pride with Escanor. But Gother is supposed to be the one of lust. How did he get this sin? It's something that we've been wondering for a long time. And now here we are supposed to see it. The manga does it perfectly. Unfortunately, the anime being... You know what I don't understand? I've never understood this. Is it TV Tokyo or somebody who does this, or whoever produces all these animes? Because I find, like, every single time, no matter what the manga is rated at, they're always censoring it. no matter how brutal something is, they'll show death and destruction, but they toe the line on key things that change the scene. And I don't understand. This anime, it's like Inuyasha and I don't know about the shonens like Bleach and One Piece and stuff, but they can swear, they can curse, they can show blood, they can show not nudity, but some PG-13 sort of idea. That's the thing. I think the ratings must be different in Japan for certain things, because it's like there must be an in-between between PG-13. We can show blood, we can curse, we can show battle and death, and we can show side boob. I mean, look at Seven Deadly Sins and tell me there's not enough ecchi elements of this shit to fill up a brick shithouse. But apparently there's got to be a rating in between, because they didn't want to show this, a key moment that changed Gother from being the sin of lust to the sin of what? Like they still have the same scene. I think it's a little different. I was under the firm belief, I could be wrong here, but I thought, because I didn't have a chance to check the chapter, but I thought Meliodas actually showed up and said, no, you can't execute Gother. I'm going to take him at the end of the episode. We see Gother basically burning on a pyre sort of idea. No, that didn't really happen. I know that didn't happen, that part where he's like, oh, I'm useless, I'm nothing, Nadja's dead, I'm going to close off my heart. I believe we had that, but I thought Meliodas showed up and said, no, I'm taking this guy with me. I'm in, I have the order, I can conscript anybody because I'm Meliodas sort of idea. Similar to the Night Watch of Game of Thrones and stuff like that, I believe. You can be like, nope, that guy's on death row, but I want him. We saw that in Spartacus with the gladiators. That guy's a slave and on death row, he's a stone thrower. Nope, I'm taking him, and I'm a Lanista, so I can take him. Same idea here with Meliodas, but we don't see that. I was pretty sure. I could be wrong, though. Don't at me for that stuff, guys. I could be wrong about that, but if I'm right, that's something that's odd that they would take that out. Especially showing him burning, because he's clearly fine. So why? I don't know. It was supposed to be symbolic. I just felt like they didn't really showcase that one ending scene properly. But anyways, going back to the actual main problem, is that Nadja is dying. Nadja is Bartra's sister. We all know that. As I said, I'm not going through the whole episode, but Dol Gother doesn't know who he is, blah, blah, blah. He's got a vague idea when he sees Gother's corpse and stuff, which, once again, could have looked more grotesque and stuff. There's a whole goddamn Ten Commandments high-level demon down there below Leona's castle, and Meliodas and Merlin, and no one thought, or Gother didn't think to tell them. Nadja, nobody thought to check over this hidden pathway. What's with this tree? What's with the holy war? What's with the body of Gother laying down there? That might be important, But the key thing is that when all this goes down, Nadja is dying. She's dying of some type of heart failure and stuff, and Gother feeling terrible. In the anime, they share a kiss and stuff, and that's very nice, and that's very passionate, and the soundtrack is very nice. There's at one point, there's a bit of a less orchestral version of the main theme, the theme that I like, the OST. What's that called? What's that song called? Anyways, so the soundtrack's on point, but basically Nadja just dies after the kiss and basically hugging Gother. In the manga, it's more powerful and makes more sense. Basically, they share a night of passion. She gets to have sex, sort of idea. They have sex, right? They end up having sex. It's what happens. But it makes a whole lot of sense, because then afterwards, when the guards burst in and stuff, and he does something so brutal, he ripped open his own chest. See, it's way more brutal in the manga. And it works far better for a sin. Nadja died, and he tried to put his heart container, his Zelda heart container, take it out of his body and put it into her. It's left ambiguous. It's so ambiguous to the point that, I don't know, it seems stupid that they would, condemn him and stuff like that. I don't know. It's so much weaker in the anime as a result, because in the actual manga, they showcase, he had sex with her, and then she died with a smile on her face, just like happened in the anime. She died with a smile on her face in her bed, but she was naked. She just had sex. I mean, orgasms can kill apparently, and pretty much he couldn't understand, like, I have to save you. He ripped open his own chest, took his own heart out, and ripped. It's left for us to believe that she was already dead, so it's not, but he actually ripped open Nadja's chest, tore out her heart, and tried to put his heart in its place. I mean, grotesque, yes, but powerful, hell yeah. And that made so much more sense. And then when we see Gowther broken and crying and just like he can't fix her because he's a doll, she's a human sort of idea, it's left so much more powerful, and you understand why he would lock away and why they would do him for the crimes, because I believe in the manga, once again, didn't reread the chapter, they said for basically desecrating the dead alongside of, basically performing lustful acts on the princess and stuff like that, because they clearly had, like, that's a problem. They call him the sin of lust, like for the crime of lust against the princess and blah, blah, blah in the anime, but that doesn't make any sense because she wasn't naked, he wasn't naked, she wasn't naked, they didn't ever have sex, they kissed and she died fully clothed. Why would he be considered the sin of lust? Makes no sense. In the manga, it makes a whole ton of sense. They catch him nude, clearly just engaged in coitus, as Sheldon Cooper would say from Big Bang Theory, and he maimed the dead body. It was like some necrophilia shit. They were like, this is some crazy fetish, it's just whatever. And they basically blame him for that. Maiming the corpse, killing her, and all this stuff, but also having sex with the princess and stuff like, they believe he, like, basically raped the princess or forced her into it or something like that, and her weak heart gave out and stuff. Could be the thing, right? She had a weak heart anyways, but nonetheless, in the manga, it was so much more powerful than it was in the anime, and it's the one flaw of the anime, is that the conclusion of him being the sin of lust makes no sense from an anime perspective, in my opinion. Especially since we've seen all the heartache and all the blood and all this and gore and stuff and all the the tragic backstories of everybody else. Limiting Gowther's like this on a key moment, the key moment that turned him from Gowther to Gowther the sin of lust, is a powerful moment, and it kind of took it away from me, so I was a little distraught over that. But elsewise, they did it justice, they did it well. They, at the end of the episode, they find out he does have a heart. There is no such thing as heart magic, as Merlin says. This thing does not contain any heart magic, but he powers himself up, and he's the brand new Gowther sort of idea. I don't remember the whole power up thing, like he's remembering true self, so he powers up, and that's how Gowther gets stronger. It's not really going to be relevant, I don't think, for the rest of the season, but apparently that's how Gowther increases his power level and gets far stronger, right? King Deanne stop him. They're like, your memories, you're trying to erase your memories, all that stuff. And Deanne, of course, being basically the poster child of amnesia in all of manga and anime history, being that poster child, she's just like, nope, stop it. We've had enough of those storylines. So Gowther has all his memories back. Deanne has all her memories back. And the 7 Deadly Sins are together once again. End of the episode. Now we're moving on to some of the greatness. We are going to see some of the greatest. I hope they better have poured all their resources and all their animators into some coming episodes. I'm really looking forward to it. Certain fights I really want to see done properly, done real justice. But that being said, guys, as I said, once again, this is, of course, it went to the same time anyway, so I don't know why I even bother. Either way, this has been Griever with your, not Behind the Bar reviews, but your Wrath of the Gods episode review. What did you guys think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, it's always very much appreciated. Don't forget to join the Discord, link in the description down below. And if you like my content, don't forget to hit the bell notification and subscribe if you guys want to know every single time that I drop a video on you, the great viewers, fans, and subscribers alike. Either way, this has been Griever. We'll catch you back here next time.